Good morning. Today is Monday, April 27th. Can you believe that? We are almost to May. Before I get started this morning, I just want to say a couple things. I have been able to grade most of your work that you turned in for the first 3 weeks. I'm still in the process of grading a couple of your analysis question responses. But I just want to thank the people, the students that have really showed me that you're giving your best effort on these assignments. I know this is not an ideal way to learn, but I really want to thank those students that even though this probably has been kind of difficult and not ideal, being away from your friends and whatnot, those of you that are still giving top-notch effort on this, I appreciate it very much, and try to keep it up here for this last week of this 3 weeks, and then when we get our final couple weeks here next week. So keep trudging through, keep doing the best that you can do. That's really all that I am looking for. Okay. Just a couple other comments on those. For the characters or the note-taking sheet, there's one spot that's for the characters. What I want you to do there, and maybe I didn't make this clear enough in my directions, is just kind of explain at least one detail that we learn, a new thing that we learn about the characters. Or maybe it's something that we've already know, but it's just kind of being reaffirmed in this chapter, okay, that they are that way, okay? So when we get to the characters part of the note-taking sheet, try to identify one thing that we learn about each one of those characters in that chapter. Then the summary. Some of us are not probably including quite enough information on those. Really try to include all of those 5Ws in your summaries, all right? I don't care how many sentences it is as long as you include all of those important details, okay? Also make sure we're writing with complete sentences, all right? That seems to be a little bit of an issue here. So give your best effort, make sure you capitalize the first letter of your first word of your sentence, make sure you have a complete thought, and make sure that you punctuate at the end, okay? Last thing, on the analysis questions, some of us are doing a really good job on those, and that's awesome, okay? But make sure you read the directions carefully, because you're supposed to have a claim, some evidence, you're supposed to explain the evidence, have a citation with a page number from the book, and also a conclusion. There's a lot of us that are not providing citations or conclusions. So really look carefully at those directions, and also look carefully at what the question asks too. Some of us aren't necessarily answering the question correctly because we're not looking at what the question says. Okay? So just a few reminders as you keep working. I know this isn't the most ideal. I know I haven't been able to give you a ton of guidance on some of these things, but please at least give the best effort that you can give, okay? Moving on then, we are on day 11 of the new calendar. Today we're getting into chapter 12. I will post a video of me reading chapter 12 here in a second. This is a shorter chapter, probably the last shorter chapter of the book. The next 3 chapters that we end up with are a little bit longer. And this one's not necessarily all that exciting. We just kind of learn a little bit how it's been in Alabama since they've been there. And I guess one thing to look for is see if some of our characters kind of shift in how they are or how they behave or what we think of them, okay? I think you should be able to maybe notice something like that here in the next 3 chapters. But for Monday, April 27th here today, you have the vocabulary first of all. I will say that most of you, almost all of you, are doing a fantastic job with the vocabulary. Getting the context clues, giving your definition, and then finding the actual definition. So you guys are doing a great job with the vocabulary. The 3 words for chapter 12 are desire, wily, and in the book it's wilier, but wily. And then the last one is ringing, okay? And notice it has a W in the word. It isn't just R-I-N-G, it's W-R-I-N-G, okay? So those are your 3 words for today. for chapter 12. Then after that, I'll let you guys do what you want to do there. You have the note-taking sheet that's actually attached to this today, so you can do that if you'd like. Remember, when there are the characters, try to include at least a detail about them, and make that good, solid prediction for the next chapter. Okay, later on then, today, I know we haven't had a Monday social studies passage this 3 weeks, but today we are, because I rotated that with math and Mrs. Dyer in science, okay? So we are going to be learning about the Silk Road today. So that would be with your ancient Chinese. So, make sure you're reading through that carefully. Make sure you're looking at your questions, maybe before you read. So that will give you kind of an idea of what you should look for and a focus for what you should look for as you're reading. Okay? That is pretty much it for today. It does look like it's going to be a nice day out. Looks like we're going to have some sun today. Temperature's supposed to be a little bit warmer, so get your schoolwork done and do something fun outside today. And I forgot to look at what all birthdays were here recently. I know we had a few birthdays here recently, so I will look up that information and we will have some birthday shout outs tomorrow. Okay? But until then, have an awesome day.